Hi everybody, it's MJ here, and I'm here to talk to you about safe weight loss so that you can understand what it takes to have long-lasting results in your weight loss journey. Now, before we get started, the most important thing that you need to know is how the body functions in storing fat. When the body consumes too much calories, fat, even toxins, or too much of a certain ingredient like a protein or carbohydrate, the body either cannot process a lot of it or it feels like it might worry about starvation. So it begins to store the excess into lipids, otherwise known as fat. When you store too much excess and the lipids grow 1,000 times its natural size, it begins to split or do cell reproduction, otherwise known as mitosis. This increases the amount of storage space that your body can carry, hence making it more difficult to lose weight in the long run. So it's important to know this because certain things like fad diets or yo-yoing between diets, trying to take pills or any of those miracle cures, they're going to actually maybe give you some results to begin with, but work against this entire system, which is not necessarily safe or practical weight loss for you. Because at the end of the day, if you're gonna put a lot of effort and work into losing weight, you wanna make sure that you can maintain that weight loss and maintain a healthy body while doing it. So how you are going to do this is you want to focus on actual lifestyle routines that promote weight loss. Some of those are eating a healthy diet, and it doesn't mean that you can't eat fun food or go out with friends once in a while, but try to cut down in areas slowly where you feel like you can make alternatives towards a healthier lifestyle. Some of these situations might be carbs. If you're eating white breads and white pasta, a simple switch to whole grain breads and whole grain pasta is a very simple thing to do. Things that are higher in fat, cut to the lower fat options or the less processed options. For example, if you like chips, and I like chips, you might go with the organic simple brand. The easiest way to tell if it's a simpler ingredients list is to turn the package around on anything that you buy, read the ingredients, and if they look like whole ingredients like potatoes, sea salt, whole milk, then you know you're getting a pretty nice food that's not particularly processed. If you look at it and you're looking at monotriglycerides and all these chemical sounding things, then you might think there's some toxins and other chemicals in this food that's going to make it more difficult for your body to digest and continue to store those toxins in the fat cells, believe it or not. And so you want to stay away from processed foods as much as possible and make small changes. And I say small because you want to be successful in them. You want to be able to feel like these changes are things that you can do and that you can continue to carry on throughout your entire life. You also want to make sure that if you're snacking or doing things that is difficult for you to get away from, you want to remove that from your house and generate healthy alternatives. One of these things for me was coffee. I really like coffee and I really like ice cream. And so what I did was I went to decaf coffee and then I switched to a chicory root coffee replacement. So it's like an herbal replacement that sort of tastes like coffee. Then I moved to tea, and tea is actually really good for you. And so now I drink tea. And for my ice cream, when I feel like it, I get a coconut-based or almond milk-based ice cream rather than the whole milk. So those are just some ideas of getting new alternatives. You also want to make sure that you have a good, healthy, active lifestyle. Now, if exercise is not your thing or it's really hard to stay motivated, you want to find something that can motivate you, something you actually like and enjoy. Believe it or not, hard, excessive exercise is not necessarily healthy for everyone. It depends on what condition your body's in. So if it doesn't feel good to exercise rigorously, listen to that. But try to get out every single day or every other day at the very least, doing something active. And it could be as simple as taking a nice walk, doing some gentle yoga, gardening outside, and it could be just as quick as 10 to 15 minutes a day. Eventually, as your body sees that it feels good and it starts having the capacity for more, you're gonna feel like doing more. And that general progress is something that you want to encourage, but also work with your body. You'll notice that I talk a lot about listening to your body and tuning in. So it's important to do things regularly and keep track of what's going on. When you make changes, ask yourself, how does this feel? What's new? What does it feel like after? What's it feel like the next day? Lastly, you want to implement really good lifestyle habits that reduce stress as much as possible. You want to make sure you drink a lot of water, you want to make sure you get to bed on time, and you want to make sure that you take the time to actually breathe thoroughly. So a lot of times we do shallow breathing, which is Or you can notice that if you're busy or you're working on something, you might even actually be holding your breath just a little. It's important to do deep belly breathing where you fill up the lungs in your belly, exhale, and have that controlled breathing motion. A simple way to improve this is to set a timer on your phone for anywhere from 3 to 5 times a day, where you just take 1 to 2 minutes to breathe in really deep and exhale controlled, and it will teach your body to do that automatically. Lastly, I want to talk about if you want to diet or if you want to try a fad diet. It's not like something that you have to stay away from or that you cannot do, especially if you find something that works really good for you. Some of these diets, or I like to call them dietary habits, include things that are labeled like low sugar diet or low glycemic diet. You might do gluten-free diet. Some people like the vegetarian or paleo. There's so many different diets out there. Eat right for your blood type or your dosha. It's nice sometimes to have a system that you can start with and that can help you sort of get on track. But again, implement all the things that we talked about, making slow progressive changes so that you're not freaking out the body. When the body freaks out or gets scared, it feels like it's starving. So if you go paleo and you cut off all the sugars, for example, and you're like, this is not working, and you do it for a week or 2 weeks or a month or even 3 days, and then you're like, this is not working, I just need my sugars, we have a tendency to go back and binge eat all those sugars right away. And the body's like, oh my gosh, there's so much sugar and I haven't seen this sugar for a long time. Let me store all of it as fat. And so that's where we get in trouble with the diet systems. If you are going to try a diet, ease into it, try it out for at least 2 to 4 weeks ideally, and then take another week or 2 easing out of it. This is a 4 to 8 week process if you do this properly. A week or 2 easing in, 2 to 4 weeks into it, and then a week or 2 easing out. Slowly every day or 2 adding or subtracting and increasing the amounts of whatever it is that you're adding or subtracting. This is what allows your body to trust you, and the idea is in building that trust between you and your body so that you understand what certain things feel like and what it needs, and so the body doesn't freak out and go into what I like to call starvation mode or high fat storing mode. So that is the basic foundation of having a nice, healthy, and safe weight loss approach. I wish you all well in your journey, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching.